Somehow you've arrived here at Hurry Up in History. It's a military history channel here on YouTube. We also have a blog, a website, Facebook page, that type of thing. But here you are, and here I am. I'm John. In some circles, I'm known as Sergeant G. So how did I come to that? Well, indulge me for a little story, if you would. It starts in high school. Trust me, this part won't last long. So I was about 16 and not really digging the school. I liked learning, however, I could not really stand to sit still. I was restless, probably what we would call ADHD now, and actually it has been told to me now as I'm an adult. So well, there's got to be something better where I could get out into the world and do things. And I found out that the Army would actually take me at 17. So, however, there's a caveat. It would be the National Guard, and I would have to do a split option training because that's the only place that would take someone who is still in high school. So I signed up a month after my 17th birthday, and I would end up shipping out to basic in June that year. My parents had the foresight to make me get my GED because they knew better than I did that I probably wasn't going to come back for the other year of high school, and that was true. So the next year I took my AIT, and along came Desert Storm. So while we were in training for Desert Storm, they were asking for volunteers, and I said, "Oh, pick me." They didn't. So graduation from AIT, they were really looking for volunteers. This is when it was really ramping up. And I said, pick me. They didn't. So I get back to my unit, and at my unit they're also taking a list for volunteers. And I put my name on the list. They didn't take me, and before we knew it, the war was over. So I'm here back in the civilian world, basically, young adult, looking for what I'm going to do. I end up working at the insurance company where my dad works. I work in the computer area, the IT, and that lasted for about a year. Once again, I needed something more outdoorsy, more adventurous, and what is like the military that is not going to send me away from my girlfriend, all that stuff. And so I signed up for a couple different police department tests. The first one that came up, I passed, made the list, was one of 3 out of 300 that was hired, and that became my career. So about 8 or 9 years into the career, I felt like I wanted something more. So I was married at the time, and we were, considering going, off and seeing the world like my parents did. When my dad was in the Army, he went to Japan and Germany and lots of cool places they got to see. So this was 2001. There was before 9/11, and I went to the recruiter's office to see what they offered, and they were kind of hurting for people. It wasn't it wasn't wartime. They were their numbers were probably down. I made a good grade on the ASVAB, so I could have my pick of jobs, my pick of locations. And I thought, well, I want to go to Germany. It looked like I would be going to the 1st Infantry Division. Not sure what job. So I take the recruiter's card, and we're going home and thinking about it. Back to work. So one night I'm out on patrol, and I stop a car on the interstate. It's about 4 in the morning, and just probably an hour and a half before I would go in for the end of my shift, just filling out paperwork in the car. And I thought, I got one more stop in me. I stopped the car, and as I'm talking to the driver, a drunk driver comes along, hits the back of my car, which hits me on my right side, pushes me into the car that I had stopped, crushing my left leg, spinning me around, and as it releases me, it throws me about 50, 60 feet down the road, and I land, and I'm kind of in shock, sitting on the ground, and I see the car that hit the back of mine slowly rolling up to me, like where it's going to run me over. I scooch back a little bit, and it still runs over my right foot, and then comes to a stop. So I'm sitting there on the ground. I call on the radio for help, and I can't walk. My body is numb from the back down, so I'm just kind of sitting there at the mercy of time. And eventually other people show up. We have to get everything cleaned up. Apparently the passenger in this car that hit the back of mine was really bad off. He was life flighted to a hospital. The driver, I'm not sure. I think he was taken to a hospital, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So I was taken to the hospital by ambulance, and while I was in the emergency room getting checked out, I was laying there, and I said, so who hit me? You have any information on him? And the officer that was investigating the accident came over and gave me his name. And I'm like, man, that name sounds really familiar. So I'm thinking, hand me my wallet. I get my wallet, I open it up, and pull out the card, and it's the recruiter that I've been talking to about going back into the Army. He's the one that ran me over. That's the story of why I didn't get the opportunity to go in that time. Fast forward a little bit, and 9/11 happens. I'm still not quite able to walk on my own. I'm on crutches, and like everybody else, I kind of feel the need to do something, and I wanted to go back in. It would take me a couple more years. I think it was the end of 2003 that I was recovered enough to do all the physical stuff for the Army. I picked up some weight because of not being able to do all the things I could do before. So I whittled it down, and I got under the weight I needed to, and I ended up joining the reserves because I had a good career at the time, and I was going to see that through to retirement. Joined the reserves, and they send me to a few different places. I got to do 3 years active as a reservist, going to places like Iraq, Kuwait, and Jordan. Saw a little bit of Germany. It's good times. I got to see some really cool archaeological sites, which maybe we'll highlight on the channel. Bring it all around. My grandfather was in World War I. My dad served during the Cold War, and we're going to feature some of what he did here also. And for me, getting to serve in my own time, that just really gave me a love for the history, especially military history, and how different campaigns and things shape the world. So So that's what we're going to study here, and have a lot of fun doing it, I hope. So if this is something that you may be interested in, go ahead and hit a like and subscribe and all those things that you're supposed to do. Comment about your experience with the military, be it you or your family member or whatever. And we use those comments to kind of see what people are interested in and create the content around that. But if you would subscribe, it helps get the momentum rolling so that we can do all the cool things we want to do. And that said, we're going to get out on the road. There's a place right down the road from here that we're going to go explore. And actually there's a few places. One that from World War II, a few from World War II, World War I air base, and there's also some Texas war stuff. I'm in Texas. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you around.